If you create content, run a business, or show up anywhere online, criticism is part of the experience. It's part of the deal. But sometimes negative comments or negative reviews can sting. And sometimes they're unfair. Sometimes they're just mean and rude. But what if we could take that next negative response and actually elevate your brand, actually make your brand look stronger? Most people respond to negative reviews emotionally, and that's where they go wrong. And that's what we're going to fix today. Today, I'll show you how to use ChatGPT to respond strategically, not emotionally, so that you always make sure that you are taking the high road, the high ground, and never come from a position that you have to be defending your brand. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, the very first thing that you have to do is to remove yourself from that, from the emotion, right? This is where ChatGPT is so powerful. It can help you draft your responses so that you're coming off strategic and you're coming off calm and without all this crazy emotion, crazy hurt feelings. Your first step is not actually typing in the reply. Your first step is going to be telling ChatGPT how to respond on your behalf. And that's what we're going to walk through today. We're going to walk through the prep work. We're going to walk through the whole thing. We're going to pretend like we have a fake bad review and how to answer it. Let's go do it. Okay, we are going to just hop right in here with the first step. As I mentioned, the first thing that you want to do is to just remove your emotion. Just totally remove your emotion from this whole thing, if at all possible. And the best way to do that is to be prepared ahead of time. And there's a super simple way that you can allow ChatGPT to craft your responses for you. And we're going to talk about that right now. So one of the things that I've done is to draft a prompt for you to put into ChatGPT. So I'm going to have you open up two different things here. Open up some kind of a Word document, and you can kind of keep running track of where you are. And then on this other side, I want you to open a ChatGPT window. Okay, now that you have both of a Word document as well as your ChatGPT window open, I'm going to put a prompt up here on the left-hand side. This is going to be something that you are just going to copy and paste in its entirety, and you're going to put this right into your ChatGPT window. Now, you'll see up here I have this in red. I do this where you need to answer those questions in red first, and we're going to remove these little brackets. And you're going to put whatever it is you do and where it is that you do it. So where you can be found online. Is it Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, your website, a combination of all of those? Just put that in there and take just a moment to do that. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say, I am a YouTube content creator. I've already said I'm on YouTube, so I can ignore that. And sometimes receive negative comments and complaints. I want to respond in a calm, professional, and confident tone, always taking the high road and protecting my brand. Okay, I see here I've got a couple little cleanups to do. Just clean that up so that your numbers all fall in line there. And you're ready to go with the rest of it. We're going to ask ChatGPT to give us some responses. And let me kind of back up here for a minute. I have found that most responses or comments fall into one of these three categories. Either just a general disagreement with whatever opinion I've stated, a personal attack, appearance, personality, etc., plain old-fashioned rude or trolling comments that have no real substance, or legitimate complaints about my products or services. Now the last one is kind of a that's its own that's its own bird. So we're going to approach it a little bit differently. But what we want is for chat to give us 5 appropriate responses for each of these categories. We're going to want to keep the tone positive, composed, and brand elevating. So we've put in our information here. Let's just pop this out and see what we come up with. Now, in the meantime, while this is working, here's what we're going to do. You're going to have this running document. I like to keep the prompt that I gave front and center. It also wouldn't hurt if you wanted to just go ahead and put the date down there, but you have some of these will populate automatically, so it's not that important. Okay, let's go back over here. We are not, just as it says, we're not replying to comments. We are shaping our brand perception. So here, chat has listed for us disagreement responses, personal attack, rude and trolling, and legitimate. Now let's talk about how we're actually going to use these and when we would use them and how. The first thing you're going to do, we're just going to copy all of these just as is. Okay, let's come right up here. Now we're going to pop over into our Word document and put those in here. Now we have 5 responses for each of these types of remarks. So let's just dig into this a minute and let's just see what this would look like in a practical sense. Okay, let's just break them down. General disagreement. They disagree, but they aren't attacking us personally. I appreciate you sharing your perspective. Healthy discussion is always welcome here. We may see it differently, and that's okay. Now I'm going to tell you how you will actually use these responses. It's going to give you 5 of each. We've already talked about, you can do 10, 3, whatever you want to do. But this is where we want to start. But first of all, I really want to break these down. General disagreement, right? No big deal. People disagree with us. We're different people. That's perfectly fine, and that's perfectly understandable. Personal attacks on our personality. These hurt our feelings. Don't these hurt our feelings? So we want to respond in a way that we are not ruminating on that comment for the next 3 days, whatever it may be. Now, the little example, the little fun, silly example I'm going to pop up here is going to demonstrate that. Let me just do that for you real quick. Okay, I've pulled up a fun little, I actually asked Chat to generate generate a fake negative review for a YouTube channel. So let's just pretend like this is really my channel. I did do a video on buy peach fuzz, and I noticed that Chat misspelled buy in my example here. Okay, so let's just say some guy comes on and says, you have too many wrinkles to be discussing skincare over 60. Okay, this is not me, but let's say my response is, ouch, Frank, I know I have wrinkles. It's because I use my face. I live my life. Do you know what happens if you live a long, long life? You get wrinkles. Okay. First of all, I'm responding to this guy in a way that can kind of keep him going. I'm asking him a question. I'm generating more negative conversation. I don't want to do that. Not only do I want to nip this conversation in the bud, but I want to forget it. I don't want to be thinking about it for 2 days. So this is why having your responses generated ahead of time make this so easy. So what would I do in this instance? Okay, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to, you could definitely start by the first one. But I'm just going to say I'm going to pick number 2 because that seems so appropriate. I'm going to copy this. Whoops. Thanks for watching. Wishing you all the best. I'm going to copy that response and then I'm going to plop it right back. I'm going to plop that comment right here in the ads comment. Now, actually, or obviously here, I'm working with a picture, so I can't respond to that. But I'm going to copy the response I want to give him. Fix that little typo I just did. put it into your response category and send it, and you're done. And then the next thing, you don't want to forget this part. Come back here. I've got to fix this. This is making me crazy where I moved that mark on accident. Okay, I've already used this one. All I'm going to do is highlight it. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to cross through it. That signals to me that I've used it. But not only does it signal that I've used it, but it signals that it's okay for that to go out of my head. I don't have to worry about that anymore. That comment is gone, and I can get on with the rest of my day. Okay, let's talk about some of these other ones, because the personal attacks, of course, I mean, they hurt our feelings. The rude or trolling comments, just like it says here, these deserve minimal oxygen. That's about the best thing that we can say. So, again, same type of a comment. You get just a rude trolling comment. You're simply going to copy this. That's it. Plop it down underneath the comment. Come back here and cross it through, and you are done. You go on to the next one. Now, this is extremely important. So make sure that you hear me on this one. The last one, legitimate complaints about your products or services. You must deal with these immediately. But it's important that you do it publicly as well. And here's what I mean by that. Other people need to see that you are taking serious the things that you say and the things that you do and the things that you promote. So, an example of this legitimate complaint could be something like, you sent me the wrong size t-shirt, or your product quit working after 20 minutes and it should last 3 hours. You know, whatever the case may be. It's important that you publicly identify this viewer's concerns. And you can put in a response something like this. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Email my team, yada, 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 so we can make it right. Now, this one, what I would do in this instance is it's perfectly fine to highlight it, and you can cross it through. But what I would rather do with this one, since this is a paying customer, this is someone who is giving you money and you need to make it right with them. So I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to make a note that that Jane Doe sent me this, and I'm going to list the date and the time, and if necessary, what I did to follow up. Okay, does this make sense? Again, the second one, I'm sorry your experience didn't meet expectations. That's not what we aim for. You respond to them publicly, and then you immediately reach out to them some way and invite the conversation to go further so that you get an opportunity to do this. And then as a follow-up, you know, what's great in these situations is when the client then comes back and publicly says, yeah, oh, wow, you know, thanks for handling that. You guys took care of me. You took care of the situation. Because the bottom line is, in business, I don't care what kind of a product or service you're selling, there are going to be some hiccups. There's going to be a fail at some point at some level. Your job as the business owner or the manager is to get in there and fix it. Fix it and let the world know that you fix your mistakes. Okay, so the next thing that you need to do, once you have once you've gone through your reviews, you've gone through your system here, you've crossed out the ones that you've applied, then you just hang on to this document in a place where you know that you can refer to it as needed. You know, hopefully you aren't getting a lot of complaints, but if you do, this is a way that will allow you to respond in a way that takes your emotion out of it. I'm telling you, I don't know if this is particular to women. I can only comment from a woman's perspective, but especially for women that are sensitive, we get our feelings hurt. We don't want to. We hear a criticism, and it's like we equate a criticism with "I don't like you." Well, that's not necessarily true at all, but sometimes that's how we can internalize it. Okay, thanks so much for letting me share this super easy method to let ChatGPT handle your negative responses. Of course, it goes without saying, respond to the good ones. You don't need a script for that. You don't need to, you want to continue thinking about that. So make sure that you respond to the good comments as quickly as you can to just kind of feed that momentum and keep your base up. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. My name is Gigi Fairbanks. This is 61 Unfinished. This is a space for people over the age of 60 who know that they're not done yet, but people who want and are ready for less proving, more becoming, and more yes. So if that is you, you are in the right place. And I appreciate you very much spending your time with me today. Thanks.